News at the Joy FM live at Brandon Heath's kitchen table this morning with a couple of guests that have popped by.
Oh yes, yeah. And it's about to
come off
party
the
now.
rails.
Yes,
It's about to party.
about
The
to,
wheels
yes.
were barely on to
Yes,
begin with.
that's right.
But
All right.
but this guy's an expert in kicking them off. So
Yes.
here we go.
Yes.
We just got back from summer camp with our families. We were in Colorado last week, and I figured he wasn't tired of me yet, so I invited my good friend Dave Barnes, everybody, to the show.
I want to go to camp.
I was actually out front mowing for Brandon, and he said, "Just come on in, let's talk."
I feel bad for
I
him.
need to finish the edging outside, but I won't swear.
Well, I will say this. I said this earlier when Brandon and I were talking about doing this. This is our 5th time doing it. The first person, sorry, Dave, the first person that Brandon brought up was Blessing.
I win.
But then, however, point for Blessing. However, Brandon texted the other day, leaving Colorado. I did not know that he'd been with you, Dave. And he said, "Hey, is there anybody else we need to invite?" And I immediately texted back and I said, "Dave Barnes, please."
Dave wins.
So,
This is a coup for us.
In other words, it
Yes.
wasn't my idea.
That's all that my security heard.
oh,
But we love you, Dave.
goodness. Yes,
You
we do.
was kind. You was smart. He was important.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And we have such a professional crush on you. You know,
Guys, keep going.
Who doesn't, really?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I told Dave when he walked in a couple of minutes ago, back in the day when we had you on the show, you didn't have a podcast. So now I'm a little intimidated because you know how to interview now.
Well, I've
you
learned
wanna
a lot of the
you
tricks.
wanna
of the trade,
critique me? Tell me
that you guys have known for years.
Okay. What are some of the tricks?
Can I tell you what I got admonished for so much at the beginning was like, don't talk over people. I mean, my wife would be like, "Dave, you have to stop talking." Or I would do the thing where I'd ask them a question, they'd answer, and then I'd answer it too. Like, it's funny you said that. In my time doing that thing I asked you about, I learned these things.
Yes.
Here's what I think about that thing you just said.
Yeah. All right, so I know what we can do. Let's do a little, I don't know if this would be role playing here, but one of the things that we are having Brandon do is to be part of the morning cruise. He's the 4th member, so we've had him ask a question to one of our artist friends. But I don't know, Blessing. I want to test your interviewer skills.
Okay.
So what would you like to ask Mr. Barnes?
I would like to ask Mr. Barnes how it feels to have had a massive song cut by Blake Shelton.
Wait, do you know something I don't know? Is he recording songs right now? So I've got a couple.
No, just that other one.
I think I think one of the most poignant moments of that whole season was.
By the way, he's talking about God. For those of you listening this morning that may not know what we're talking about, God gave me you.
Yeah. Sorry, there's some context. But I remember going to CMA Fest that year, and we got I think I don't know if I think Warner may have asked me to come. Like, hey, Blake's playing, because I hadn't seen him play it live yet. It was in Nissan Stadium, and he played it, and that's one of the most poignant memories of that season for me. It was like, you're looking out over all these people, and they're all singing this song. And that was because it's not you singing it at that moment.
Right.
I mean, obviously I sing it too, but it was just such a pinch me moment of, I think too, just the craziness of we all sit in these rooms. I mean, and then these songs go from like 2, 3, 1 person in a room to these, hundreds of billions of people, singing it. And I think for me in that season, to answer your question, Blessing, it was just such a cool thing to see how dreams can iterate, how these things that you don't even say out loud can become reality, and to sit up there and realize that was really sweet. It was a good moment.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm going to let y'all be, but I want to tell one funny Dave Barnes story.
Oh, let's hear it.
I told him this the other day.
Oh boy.
When I was a whippersnapper at Belmont,
Young buck.
Dave was substitute teaching for us.
What?
Legit. I think it was Drew Ramsey's class or something.
Did you learn anything, or did you laugh the whole time?
Both, I think. And what was funny was, this was probably 2011, right? And I was like, I had cards on me, business cards, because 19, you're like, business.
Do you want to
card.
be blessed?
That was my pitch. How did you know? Do you want to be blessed? the teacher literally, because I was like, okay, he wrote gracious, amazing, hands, ugly. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up to Dave Barnes. In my brain, I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, Dave, my name is Blessing Offor, and you don't know me, but you need my song. And I gave him a card, and his response was, all right.
That's amazing.
Deadpan just goes,
all right.
okay.
That's amazing.
Takes the card and then walks away, and I'm like, yeah.
That's so fun. That's amazing.
Got it.
All right.
That's the reason
He's
we just
gonna call
wrote
in a
because
minute
I found
now.
that card, 15 years later.
Exactly.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, they wrote a song yesterday or 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Full circle moment.
That's
It was from the
awesome.
card. I know it was. I know.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing, Dave. As a show, the three of us, not including Brandon this time, as it's the Morning Cruise, we have been together, 19 years?
19 years.
19 years. And so our anniversary is in October 1st.
gosh.
We honestly don't know when the show started.
I'll come down.
We just
I'll do it.
picked, you will?
I'll be there,
Okay,
yes.
good. We just picked an anniversary date, and it's October. And so we don't do this every year, but we do it every couple of years. We legit put on Instagram, on the website, we'll ask the listeners, what is your favorite Morning Cruise moment of the last 15 years, 16 years, 18 years, whenever we've done it? Dave Barnes.
No.
Without fail, all these years later, when did you visit us? Was it 2011?
1973.
Whatever.
And what a year it was.
Without fail, we have 3 segments, 3 times that come up.
Every year.
Yes, Big Daddy Weave's one of them. Stephen Curtis Chapman's another one. When Mary Beth mooned everyone
Wow.
down the Nile.
Africa.
Let's talk about that.
But can we just talk about the winner? The winner every single year.
No.
I kid you not. Dave Barnes, Squirrel.
Mafia.
The Squirrel Mafia,
That
the
feels
squirrel in the
familiar now.
backyard with the pizza.
Yeah.
Do you remember telling this story?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
the video pops up in my memories every
Yes.
year of me trying to.
When you told us that day, because I guess, I don't know, was there a church nearby that had a picnic or
Yes.
something, but it was a
That's-
squirrel
wow, you have a
eating-
good memory.
Yes, the squirrel was eating the pizza, running across.
yeah.
It was manna from heaven.
It was.
Sweet tea, raining
Yeah.
sweet tea.
Carb heavy manna, but still
Yes,
manna.
yes. But it's just amazing to me that you were on our show one time, and you win it every
Think
year.
if y'all would have me back, what it would be like, guys. Just a land of plenty.
Yes, I'm telling you.
Just-
I'm telling you.
Carbs galore,
Right.
which
Yes.
is a shop
we
I
are.
opened and didn't do well.
Is the underbelly of the backyard still running, or
So we've moved since, and the pets have upgraded. Now they're dropping more expensive things because we're so close to 12 South. So now it's Vuori shirts, athleisure
Okay.
in the woods.
Okay,
it's
got
kind
it.
of
Yeah.
it's a whole other. You know what I thought you were going to tell me? I there's another story I thought I'd told about did I tell you the story about the orphanage in Uganda? You know the story.
No, but tell us, please.
Well, I didn't know if it,
No, I would love for you
So-
from here on
so-
out to be in the top 5 with 2 Dave Barnes
So
stories.
we went years ago. Did you do stuff with the Mocha Club too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Brandon and I, a guy named Matt Wertz, some of our good friends, we're all involved with this nonprofit called the Mocha Club. I can't believe I told you all this story. So we go, this is before kids. So Andy and I were married, but we didn't have kids yet. So we were over for a couple of weeks. And there was a bunch of us that went. I think it was like 30 people that went. So it was like really fun. But we go and stay in this orphanage in Uganda. And I mean, nothing to do for probably 3 or 4 days in a row. Like, I don't know that I've ever been more crazy because, just playing with kids, but, you'd be like, it's got to be 4 p.m. and it'd be like 9:27 a.m. And you're like, okay. So one of the things we would do to pass time was play soccer. And they were really good at soccer. And so me and about 4 other guys, Layman was one of them, one of our friends, we go play soccer with them. And it was so hot, one of the games I took my shirt off. And so we're playing a little bit, and I'm just in it's higher elevation, just for the record, just so that's out there. So halfway through the game, I'm like, I gotta sit down. I'm gonna die. And so I sit down, and when I sit down, there's no timeouts in soccer, but I'd call it a timeout. So the kids so this little delegation of kids kind of troops up. You see them, they kind of to each other, and they're kind of talking to me, and the other, white guys are kind of looking, going like, what's going on? And so you'd see little heads pop up, and then they go down and then pop, look at us. So one of the kids, kid named Godfrey, kind of becomes he gets pushed out of the circle. And so he kind of gingerly walks toward me. And he says, David. I was like, yeah, guy. I'm like trying to catch my breath. He goes, are you tired? And I was like, Godfrey, I'm really tired. And he said, is it because of your obesity? And true story. And I thought that's a big word for an Ugandan orphan to know.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Here's the thing. If you're obese, then I'm two-ton Twilight. I mean,
well, it was.
Lord
You should have seen those
mercy.
kids. They were healthy. They were fit, and I was not fit. And so
Wow.
their closest thing they knew was my.
All right. Well, that story may rival the
It
squirrels.
may bump Rocky right out of the
Yeah,
tree.
yeah, yeah.
goodness.
There's been a question I have just been dying to ask you, Dave. Is the 30% sale on your merch still available, or did that get done at Christmas time?
We have new prices now. We've had a sale so long. We just went ahead and brought them down. My wife today, I'm not lying to you. Today she goes, "Is your stuff on the site still on sale? Or are you ever going to unsale it?" And I was like, "Okay, this is our money too, so that hurt. It may get lower. One thing that I don't know if
we're
I
gonna
told you this.
unsale
Actually,
it.
that anybody that's listening in the Florida area can drive up when this airs. I have gone into my storage. This morning. It's weird that you know this. I went in this morning to my storage space, and there are 5,000 CDs in there. I mean, it's really embarrassing, and it makes me feel a lot of really deep, dark things. It may be the beginning of a Darth Vader season of my life, but I saw all of them, and after sweating and crying a little bit, I was like, we should get rid of this. So I told Annie, and she's like, I think what we're going to do, and you have to do this with us. I think Wirtz and John and I, McLaughlin, who I do Dadville Podcast for anyone that wants to listen.
Not
we
during
may
the morning
set
show,
up a
though.
thing on 12 South and give away CDs.
Oh, that would be incredible.
Like do a live merch booth,
Yeah.
and just have people to walk by, just give them CDs.
I mean, there are kids, like teenagers these days, that actually prefer CDs.
Yes, I've found that's a thing.
which is kind of crazy.
But it's
so-
like, y'all, it's a wall of CDs.
Yeah.
It's really.
Wow.
So,
Well, everybody has merch drops these days, so maybe it'll just be a new twist on.
well, they're so old now that people be
just-
like, "Oh, is this a new record?" And then I get even sadder.
Yeah,
Which, but I
Yeah.
do need to. There's a lot of merch in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
They're all still good. And we made a reference to Islands in the Stream a little bit ago.
we did.
That lyric actually appears in one of your newest songs.
Who's done his home? I'm gonna take my shirt off.
Good thing
Please
it's radio.
don't.
Hey, and
Right,
it's
because
we
of
had
your
the
obesity.
obesity. There it is, right there.
We had 7 hours in the airport yesterday waiting for them to.
oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, I've been doing. It's funny. I've been doing these. God, that was smooth. You are smooth. I'm watching you. You're dangerous. I've been doing. So Brandon and I were talking about this in Colorado last week, but like trying to figure out how to release music these days. And I've been working on this new record, but it wasn't quite time for it yet. So I was like, I was advised by a lot of my friends in the biz. They were like, "Hey, you need to release music like every month, basically." And so I was kind of spelunking my Dropbox folders, thinking like, I don't really have any music. And then I realized that all these years I've been writing for other people since God Gave Me You, which opened that door, which has been awesome. I have all these songs that I love that those artists never cut. And so this year, every month, I've been releasing these songs that have just been sitting in these folders on my phone out in the ether somewhere. And the latest one is this song, Barber, which was just Neil Carpenter and Ian Fitchick and I wrote it. And it was just one of those writing days where, you're laughing the entire day because the more ridiculous it is, that's like what you write down is the most ridiculous line you can every time. And so it's just like all song titles is talking about, falling in love with this woman at a karaoke night, which we've all been there, if we're honest. And God knows your heart, so don't lie. But it's one of these songs that sort of lived, like we all have. I feel like every artist has got so many songs that you love. You're just like, I don't know if that fits my thing. And so it's been nice to sort of release all of these into the wild. But that song especially, it's called Barber. It came out last week.
Right.
And so many people have texted me and been like, I can't believe you guys pulled off. Because it was like every line we're like, all right, as much as we can get a lyric to a song as the line.
It's a fun song.
Yeah, it's fun.
And you got fun songs. You've got love songs, of
Yeah,
course, that you've
yeah.
released.
Yeah.
I did want to ask one other question, just based on the airport yesterday. Is Brother Pastor Phil Lukenbacham, music minister, real or an AI?
We'll never know. He's wheeled. He's
wheeled to some of us, but he's not wheeled to others.
Dude, that character, I have had. I mean, there's a lot of characters I've done over the years, but that one is the one that will never go away because I just feel like growing up in Mississippi in an 8,000 person town, I can riff that character into oblivion because there's just so much in the back of my brain that has stuck from those years. And
I have watched these videos over the years,
Oh, he watches them all the time.
and I crack up,
Yeah.
and I think, did he just make that up, or did he write that down or practice it?
it's seared into my
it's
subconscious.
so
What is-
natural.
what
And,
is-
and for
Right.
those listening, wondering where they could see these
Yes.
characters, his Instagram
Instagram.
is certainly worth a follow.
Yes.
I would pay
Yeah.
just to have access to that Instagram.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't remember that I said
Actually,
that.
What is
I'll
it?
make
Dave
let's
Barnes'
start
music?
charging. Siri, start charging. Yeah, Dave Barnes music.
That's it. That's it.
I wanted at some point this morning to see if we could get an idea of what Brother Pastor Phil, how he might describe your time with the morning cruise.
He's been taking. He texted me a couple days ago. He's been taking a radio sabbatical, just because he was not getting out of his car at work, and it was getting to be a problem. And so he just between he had a Ray Boltz thing he was into, and that was Michael Bolton, a little bit of early Rascal Flatts, which he doesn't want to talk about that season because it was walking away from the Lord and secular music. But no, he's a big fan. He told me to tell y'all, hey.
That's how you know it's a good time.
It is. That's the marker. Yeah, I really do feel like if I let myself, I would just turn into like if I was stuck if I got sent to like solo confinement in a jail, I would come out as him because he's in here. I have to like not let him out.
Yeah.
That's
hilarious.
Which is scary and beautiful.
So now you are a podcaster now. Carmen has mentioned
Yeah.
this. The Dadville Podcast. How did that come about?
Yeah.
And can you give us a recent Dadville story? Not a story from the podcast, but a story from being a dad of three kids.
Yeah, There. It came about early COVID. I was trying. I like to talk.
Yes.
Anyway, that's enough about me. And I feel great right now.
We
I'm gonna
could
hang
start
out the
the-
rest of the day.
You're just killing
We'll
it.
get a
all
count.
the other guests.
Slaying.
But I was talking to a really good friend of mine, and Seth Philpott, who we love, and I was telling Seth, I was like, I want to do this podcast, but I don't know kind of what it should be about. I thought it was so funny because at the time, this is like 5 years ago, but I sat with, I was at William Morris at the time, and I sat with their podcast woman that was kind of like, it was kind of a new thing then. Like she was kind of helping advise or add partnerships together with artists doing podcasts, but it was still really, really early days. And so I had a meeting with her, and she was like, all right, tell me what you're thinking. And I was like, well, music. She's like, and this is 5 years ago. She's like, too many. And I was like, all right. And then I was like, well, I thought about doing a dad one, and she's like, that's what you got to do. She's like, nobody's really doing that yet. And so I'd heard a buddy of mine say the Dadville, and I was like, that's what it's got to be. So then Seth suggested, he was like, well, you should do it with John, because John lives literally across the street. And I mean, literally across the street. And so John came over, because that was our conversations anyway.
Right.
Like when John and I would catch up, it'd be music or pretty much like kids and life and stuff. And asked him, and he was, thrilled, charged a lot. And that still hurts.
You guys complement each other so well.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of like the intellectual dry wit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. It's
He's
been
the
fun.
brains and you're the beauty.
The body, the
No,
face.
but he's like he's got this really dry intellectual wit.
I can't hear past dumb, but keep going.
But I would say that you kind of like lead the charge, and obviously you guys both do your homework before you interview.
Well,
Always
no,
good.
you said it well, and that's true. It's funny because it's true. John is extremely dry. He's one of the funniest people I know, but he's very, very tame. Like everything about John is restraint. Oddly enough, I'm not like that, which is funny. Not that you guys could tell. I'm just a picture of composure and togetherness. Right. But John is, it's a really nice yin to yang thing where he's much more sort of calculated. He talks about a fourth as fast as I do. Which is hysterical because if you speed up our episodes, he sounds normal and I sound like a squirrel. And
Funny, it would always come back to the squirrel.
it does, doesn't it? It does. That's the name of my spiritual book. It always comes back to the squirrel. It's loosely about acting too, but that's a whole other conversation. No, but and so it's really fun. But to your point, Brandon, John and I laugh so much because when we prepare, I should show y'all our notes because when we prepare, my notes will be like, ask about her dog.
Yeah.
Funny TV appearance? ? Like, I mean, it looks like a caveman has written. John will come in with fully formed paragraph, like, when you spent your time in the Himalayas, you said there was a sunset that informed all of your newest books. That book, and I'm like, so when I'm like,
You're
it's
describing Bill Martin.
Well,
right
that's
now.
Right, exactly, yeah.
it's hysterical. And so for us, to your point, Brandon, it's like it really is so fun because he's he's just so calculated and I'm so bouncy frenetic. But it is great. It really works because
Complement each other.
because it's like you kind of need both energies, I think.
Yeah.
And so here's your point to your point about about a dad story of late. So we had this is like a month ago. My youngest son had a flag football game. Annie has got the kids at home. Annie's my wife. She's got the kids at home, but she was like, all right, I'm leaving. Xana, my middle, Susanna Jane, we call her Xana. She is 10. She's like, all right, I just left. This was kind of the language. I just left. Make sure you take Sam to his flag football game. I'll meet you there. That's something like that. And I was like, great, all good. So I come in the house, and it was like a quick turnover because she'd already left. I'm like, Sam, you got your stuff? He's like, yeah, we grab Sam, we leave. I get to the field, and I just have this feeling. I'm like, where is Xana? So I'm like, well, she wasn't in the house, but maybe Annie's got her. So I text Annie.
Oh, no.
Hey, you got Xana? And she's like, funny. And I was like, and then that call as a husband you hate because it's your fault. It's my fault. And I was like, what's up, girl? She's like, where's Xana? I was like, what? Who's Xana again? So I said, are you really don't have her? She's like, Dave, she's at the house. I was like, whoa, my gosh, she's in the basement and she's watching TV. And she's like, she is. And I go, oh my gosh. And now it's not a freak out because she's 10. It's not like you left a 2-year-old.
Right.
But still, of our three, she's the one that would go atomic if she found out she was left at home. So I go, let me call you back. So I get on my Nest and I was like, okay, if she's gone outside, we're toast because that means she's looking for us. Hopefully she's still watching Fuller House downstairs, completely incapacitated. So I check all the doors. She hadn't gone outside and I call her. I was like, all right, I'm gonna head home. She's like, no. I've already turned around. Do not call. Because I was like, let me call John and he can walk over and just be like, hey. She's like, no. We're going to play like nothing happened and roll the dice. She said, I got home. So she called. She texted, God, Xana, we're all good. But she said she got home. She's walking around and Xana, like within a minute, was like, where's Dad? She's like, and Annie, oh, he's gone. She's like, he was supposed to take me, wasn't he? And she was like, yeah, so he was, but I'm going to take you now. And when I saw her next, she was like, Dad, you left me at home. I was like, oh, no.
Were you seeing like the headlines in the Nashville newspaper?
Host
Of Dadville leaves
Yeah,
daughter
host
at
of
home.
Dadville leaves his child at home, but it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, it does. Yes. But we've all had that moment.
Yep. Oh,
Truly,
my gosh.
100%. Yeah.
Not me.
I was going to say, Dave's he knows.
Oh,
He knows.
gosh.
I mean, we've talked about so many topics. The one thing that I think is kind of cool about Dave, number one, he's a longtime friend of mine. I do have an episode on Dadville that I would recommend as a good listen.
Oh, we'll post that at themorningcruise.com.
Okay, yeah, but it talks about really our history as friends. But we were just at family camp, which I think I introed you with that one.
Yeah.
With our families, and it's in Colorado. It's kind of like in the middle of the Rockies, and there is this camp there called Frontier Ranch, which is just like maybe 2 or 3 miles from the camp where we were. Frontier Ranch is where I went when I was a kid. I was 16, and I met a guy named Ed Cash. Mm-hmm. And Ed, if you don't recognize the name, he is the lead singer / dad of We the Kingdom. But Ed plays a key role, I would say, in both Dave and my lives, not just our careers, but our lives. And I'm curious, Dave, will you tell, like, y'all just wrote a couple of days ago, you and Ed, how did that relationship start for you guys?
Yeah.
And I want you to talk about maybe that first record that y'all made together.
We met in juvie. Ed had lifted some cars, and I was a supplier of a lot of things. And
It's like a herd of pigs just came in. Did you notice that?
that's how all those Ugandan kids felt about me when I was running around on the soccer pitch. No, it's so funny. I don't know. Ed, gosh, I need to figure out how to consolidate this. Basically, two of my favorite artist times when I was in kind of college getting into high school was Bebo Norman and Ed Cash. And Ed he was kind of like the first really big Young Life artist, meaning like Ed was kind of the guy that sort of would go to these camps and be there for like a month.
I remember.
I always call it backward touring, but like he would stay in the same place and all the kids would come, And so I remember hearing his music the first time in high school at Steve Chesney played it at a Young Life camp or a Young Life night for my high school at our meeting. And I heard Remember Me, the song, and I was like, who is this? I went and bought the CD. I don't even know how you got it, maybe mail order back then. And it was 1892 that year. I remember well, the Dust Bowl. And
for CDs.
Yes, a great year for CDs. That's exactly right. Unlike 2025, which is a dark year for CDs. But so fast forward many years, 3 or 4 years, I was in college. I wanted to do a summer staff, which means you go as a student, a college student for a month at a camp. And I went to Windy Gap. And I'd heard through the grapevine that Bebo was going to be there doing music. So I was like, this is a slam dunk. Like, he gets trapped with me for a month and I get to bother him about all things music. And so Bebo and I got to be really good friends. I actually played drums for him in his concerts every week and would play with him and got to be really good buds. And at the end of that, he was like, you have to meet Ed. Like, you guys would just get on so well. And so then like a month or two later, Ed came and played at New City Cafe, which was a really great spot. I cut my teeth playing not long after that in Knoxville. And I did that thing where I stayed until everybody was gone. Like, I mean, everybody, because I was like, I need solo time, So like everybody, and so I finally walk up, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, like Bebo's told me about you," which was the best. That feeling was like even better. And so we like talked for forever. He started coming to Nashville to do like early Caveman's Call records and all these records at the time, Bebo's records. And he would call me when I was in MTSU, and he'd just be like, "Hey, come up and just like hang." And so just speed up there in my '87 Accord, and we would just hang. And so when he moved to Nashville, he called me and he's like, "Hey, I'm coming. We're like relocating, the whole thing." I worked for him for about a year, about half a year actually, because we did The Last Castle. Brandon and I.
Oh my gosh.
We extraed on a movie.
We were extras in a movie, a Robert Redford.
Y'all know this?
Wow. No.
Way back in the day.
I don't know that I've ever heard this.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big part of my story.
Oh, is it?
And and so worked for him for the back half of that year. I just got out of school, and at the end of that year, we made a record together. He kind of gifted it to me. He said, "Hey, just let's do 5 songs," and then we did 5 records after that together. He produced "God Gave Me You," my version of "God Gave Me You," and it's so funny you asked, Brandon, because he called me the other day, and I mean he's been one of my best friends for 20 whatever years. It is 25 years now, and we had written with Blessing, and he called me, and he was just like, 10 minutes, he was just like, "I just need to tell you all these things." He's like, like, "I love you so much, and can you believe we get to do this together?" It was just this really sweet conversation. But I told him, and this is where I'm going with this, because he was like, "Can you believe we still get to do this together? And it's so good to be with you." It was great, And then I said, "Well, Ed, I was thinking about this yesterday," and I tell him this all the time, but I feel like I want to tell him this a lot. But I was like, I think the thing I always think about when we get to make music together, because he's just so unbelievably talented. Like, it's really obscene how good he is at music. And I said, man, I think the thing that I always think is like, I wasn't worthy of your skill set at the time that I got it, and God just he's such a huge part of my story because I was so unrefined in the beginning. I just started singing. I was just starting to write songs. But in God's gracious economy, I got to meet this guy who took my thing and went, okay, we can make this great, but it's going to take some work. And just over those 3 or 4 records really got me to this place where I was kind of at fighting weight. Godfrey, suck it, and you got it. And it was really beautiful because with his friendship and benevolence, it was like he didn't see this guy that was like really over enthusiastic. There was definitely something there, but was like this is too much. He was like, oh, bro, let's do it, And so I told him that, and I got so choked up on the phone because I was like, man, I think one of the great blessings of my musical career has been that you just took the time to invest in me in monetarily in all the ways, just to go like, hey, I just love you. I believe in what you're doing. And then it, grew into be this massive career that it is now. But he's such I'm so thankful for him. And I think the thing that he really gave me and still gives me more than anything is just, it's always been so open-handed. Like Ed was never, that's one of his biggest gift sets is that, you can get around people that are really talented and there's a weird feeling of like, I got to sort of keep my thing because you could steal it. Or it's like, these are the people that I work with. That's how I do my thing. But Ed, from the day I met him, was like, what do you need? You got it.
Yeah.
Like contacts, money, what, like, hey, just let me know. And I think that's such a gift. And it shows just an incredible bravery and faith in the Lord that it's not that, the mindset is it's not scarcity.
Yeah.
Is the opposite.
Scarcity mentality.
Yeah. And he's still like that. It's such a huge blessing. And seeing We the Kingdom, it's so fun too because now I get to be a fan again, which is really sweet. Like our family loves that band. Like we listen to a lot of We the Kingdom, and so it's fun for me because now I get to sort of it started back over again where I'm the guy that gets to sort of,
That's cool.
And it's even funnier now because we can relate on artist things again, which is a riot, because I hadn't seen him in a couple of years for a while and he, because they were busy with, and then I saw him and I was like, when did you get so cool? And he was like, I hate all of this. I want to shave.
I can hear him
My
saying
hair's
that.
too long. He was just like, this is what you got to do.
Ed would typically hang out in like basketball shorts.
Yeah, he was Adam Sandler of the music
absolutely. And we'd go and play shows like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We did a show once where where he showed up to pick me up with a guitar without a case, a Dan Electro to an electric, not an acoustic, and it's a solo show outdoors. And he's like, "You got to get in the car. We got to go." And I'm like, "Ed, we are 30 minutes from takeoff." Now this is like, it's way before 9/11, so we could do this. But we speed. He pulls up to the valet. I am a stress ball, and he's just like, whatever. We get to the thing, and she's like, "You have like 3 minutes for the board." And he does this. He's got the most silver tongue you've ever met.
Yeah.
And somehow the woman's like, "Just get back there." We run with his guitar, and he doesn't have a change of clothes. No. He's got board shorts on, like a beat up Young Life shirt. And on the plane, we write a song.
Yeah.
'Cause he's like, "Well, let's get it out." And oh my God, and like, and I just remember we got there that night, and then he just murders, just plays. Everybody's like, and then he gets back in the clothes. We fly back. I was like,
Crazy.
God must have given you some inordinate amount. Like you have the ability. It's like the escape artist. He just knows how to, He's much more civilized now, but those days were interesting days.
Your songs that you've been releasing one a month for this new album that's going to drop. In the fall.
Yep.
The one that got away.
Yep. The ones. Yeah.
The one that got away.
The one. The songs that got away.
Oh, it's not.
But you were close, Bill.
Not about fishing.
The one would be about a girl. That'd be, and then my wife would be like, "Yeah, why are you writing that song?"
Right. You have one of the songs on there called Symphony.
Yeah.
Which I really like that song.
Oh, thank you.
Do you love it? I'm glad that at the beginning there's a little orchestra.
Yeah, I was like,
fitting.
you have to. It's a little on the nose, but you have to.
But we need you back is what I'm saying. This is the theme of my question. We need you back in this format. So I was thinking.
Yes,
Lord.
tell me. Here we go.
If you could just add the words between a verse, "Dear Lord."
And you're back,
but like really bad overdub.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
No. Do it. All right, let's practice one. So my all-time favorite Dayborn song is "On a Night Like This." So sing a few and do
what
what.
Like this.
Yeah, do what Bill just said. Okay, come on.
Again, I love. On a night like this, dear Lord. Oh my God, it turns into a praise and worship song. I could fall in love Dear Lord, I could fall. Wow, that actually sort of works.
It does.
That's
Okay, what
really-
about? Oh gosh, what's another one?
Well, God gave me you be funny.
Yeah.
God gave me you for the ups and downs, dear Lord. This is working in ways that it's really unnerving me.
Yeah.
Especially the spoken, because it
Until
feels like it's a
then.
live
Try
church.
until then.
You've been
Until
writing
you.
for Christian radio all along.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You just
Yeah.
didn't know it.
Who
Yeah, you
this
didn't
whole
know it.
time?
Yeah.
Well, that was always. I was laughing with a friend the other day about God gave me a beat on the radio. I think it was actually Blessing. We were talking about this at our right, and it was funny when Razor and Ty, after that season happened, the label I was on at the time, came back and they're like, "So it's time to do Christian radio again." I was like, "Oh, I guess we should." I hadn't really thought about it. But yeah, it was a fun. That was such a fun season. You guys were such a big part of that too, because I feel like I just didn't know a lot of people, and to have places, especially like y'all, to come and feel so comfortable around was such a huge thing, because it could have been weird, because it could have been like,
Yeah.
you don't belong here, sinner. Which I get that a lot, sadly. But no, so I really do want to come down and do it. I'm not kidding.
You
That would
promise?
be-
We
oh,
would
yeah.
love
All
that.
right.
Be
And
so
you've got
fun.
there's so much talent here, truly. Not
Yeah.
only as a songwriter, singer, performer, stand-up comedian,
Yeah.
and all the things that you do. I did want to mention, just kind of at the end here, you're getting together apparently here in town in July to
Oh, yeah.
go all the way back 21 years.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
To, I would keep wanting to call it Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, but that's
Yeah,
not it. It's
that's-
Brother Bring the Sun.
Yes.
Is 21.
Yeah.
And so, if just looking at your whole career, is there a stand? And this is a weird question, Dave, but I'm gonna toss it out there. Is there a standout moment for you that's somewhat unexpected, that has some spiritual significance, just in your whole career, where it's like, this is a moment that reminds me that I'm doing what the Lord has called me to do?
Yeah, I'm not trying to sound cheesy, but there's a lot of those. I was talking to Rita Springer yesterday, and she had me on her podcast, and we kind of talked about that, and it was amazing recollecting those moments, because I don't know if y'all are like this, but I can just kind of go through life, and I'm so forward focused that I forget these Ebenezer moments where the Lord really shows up and you kind of marks his territory again in your life in this beautiful way to remind you that he's there. But I mean, there's just been I told her, I was like, I even think an atheist, if I told them my story about how I got into music, would be like, yeah, that sounds like something else was involved.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it happens a lot. I mean, I feel like there's, when I'm slow enough to think back on interventions, God's interventions in my life, they're tremendous. I mean, and Ed would probably be one of those. I mean, to answer your question, I think us meeting
Ed Cash.
Yeah, and just to, I feel like a lot of my friends, I don't know that you're like this, Brandon, because I feel like your first record is so good, but it's kind of a joke in Nashville. A lot of people sort of look back at their first records and like, because everybody's figuring out what they do,
Well,
right?
my first record was an indie record, and it's pretty cringy. And honestly,
I have an extra copy if you want.
Well, yeah, I love that.
great.
Please do
Yeah, you could find it on
But
YouTube.
but I it's not that I sidestepped that, but Ed did every record I did, so it was like having this kind of superhuman doing that afforded me a weird luxury of kind of sidestepping that first record. You kind of go, whoo. And so I think that would probably be one I'd think a lot about, because I think without that, he really was such a trampoline to the next things. And I think without him, it would have been a really weird go of trying to convince people to like music of mine. Where I think God gave him the years to go, no, there's some good stuff there. Let's just kind of polish it up,
Well, thank you for
And also being on the morning cruise those years ago
That's
was
cool.
Well, that was
Yeah.
unspoken.
close.
Yeah.
It's the junior
Yes.
to the senior of it. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good seeing you.
I know. Same
Thanks
to
for
y'all.
coming. Thanks for
I'm so
saying
excited
yes.
about y'all relocating
Yeah.
permanently to Nashville too.
Aw,
That's such
yes,
exciting.
that's happening. Yes.
And you
yeah.
letting them
Yeah.
consistently use
Yes.
your living room,
Yeah.
your kitchen
Yeah.
here, over
we didn't
and
talk about
Yeah.
that.
over. And it's in the contract. You should
All
have
right, y'all. Dave Barnes on the morning cruise. No. Okay.